Hi friends, today I want to talk to you about a DePIN project that has caught my attention strongly in recent times and that I like more every passing day. It's called Crankk. Crankk is a network built on the Cadena blockchain, similar to Helium. Its goal is to build a low-cost, low-consumption shared resource network for IoT data transmission. Participants use their IoT hotspots to provide LoRaWAN coverage to the network and in return are rewarded with Crankk tokens. What sets Crankk apart is that you don't need specific hardware to participate in its network. If you already had a Helium hotspot, you can buy a Crankk license and install its software on that same device, allowing you to dual mine Crankk and Helium simultaneously. But not only that, since the operating system of most LoRaWAN hotspots is based on Linux distributions, which as you know is an open source system, we can use Docker to install mining software from many other DePIN projects we follow in the channel, such as Filecoin Station, Gracias, Presearch, or Mysterium, among others. Yes, as you heard, thanks to Crankk software, we can be passively generating 5 or 6 different tokens on a single device, with the same electrical consumption which, as you know, is almost negligible. As you can see, this changes the rules of the game, as it allows us to reuse our almost abandoned Helium miner, due to the drop in profits we suffered after switching to the Solana network a year ago, making it even interesting to consider buying one for those who did not have it, or even expanding the fleet of those who already had some, to take advantage of this new wave of DePIN that, as I told you in the video I'm showing you above, is beginning to form within the crypto ecosystem. If you still don't have a Helium hotspot, one of my favorites, especially if you want to use it for Crankk, is Linkstat, which are currently at a ridiculously low price compared to the Helium boom era. Before, a Helium hotspot cost about $700, while now you can get one for about $100. If you're interested in purchasing one, I'll leave the link in the video description. Well, getting back to Crankk, the next thing you'll be wondering is how much it costs to get into the project. The initial investment required to start in Crankk is $250, which is divided into 2 different parts. On one hand, to register your gateway, you must purchase a Crankk license valued at $150, which must be paid in KDA tokens. However, if you use the code I'm showing you on the screen, you'll get a $5 refund to your wallet, so the license will ultimately cost you $145. Secondly, for your hotspot to start receiving rewards in Crankk, you must justify participation in the network. To do this, you are required to lock, that is, stake, $100 in Crankk tokens. The advantage is that these tokens are yours and can be withdrawn after 1 year from the locking date. To conclude, let's talk about results. Crankk's profits are relative, as they depend on various factors, much like in Helium, especially related to location and the existence of other nearby hotspots to communicate and/or compete with. In one scenario, our miner may be situated in an isolated area with no other nearby Crankk miners to communicate with. In this case, it will only generate rewards for sending data packets. These packets are sent and tallied in the network every 4 hours, generating 0.8996 Crankk tokens, equivalent to $0.098. That's nearly 10 cents. So, in total, a miner in this situation would produce approximately 5.3976 Crankk tokens, which would be about 53 cents per day. This seemingly unfavorable situation can be turned to our advantage if we know how to exploit it. If there are no other nearby miners, we can provide them. In other words, to increase profits, we can simply add another miner in the same location, allowing them to communicate with each other without competition, ensuring that sent and received packets will be earned by your miners. In that case, a miner's profits would double, and considering we have 2 miners, the final result would be those 53 cents per day multiplied by 4, resulting in a little over $2 each day. Then we have the middle ground solution where you have a single miner in an area with more miners around. Here, the only thing guaranteed is the 6 daily sends, as the received packets will depend on the competition resulting from the number of existing hotspots in your hexagon. So, is it worth buying a license to onboard your miner to Crankk? Well, that depends on you. This is not investment advice, and as I always say, for any investment, you should do your own research and invest only what you are willing to lose. For me, who already had the necessary hardware, it seems like an incredible opportunity. Not only does it allow me to mine Crankk and Helium simultaneously, but Crankk software has also significantly increased my Helium earnings compared to what I had with the original hotspot firmware, so I am very happy with the project. Furthermore, the aforementioned advantage of being able to add more miners to mine more tokens with the same consumption and without the need to invest in new hardware seems incredible to me. For now, as you can see in the video I'm leaving above, I've added Filecoin Station and I'm doing triple mining of Crankk, Helium, and Filecoin. But my idea is also to add an instance of Grass in a Presearch node, something I'll be informing you about and sharing with corresponding videos here. So, in the long run, I'll be doing quintuple mining on a device that can be purchased today for less than $100 and has a consumption of between 2 and 5 watts. As you can see, and you'll agree with me, I don't think there's anything quite like it at the moment. Of course, you won't get rich with just this, but as I always say, every little bit counts. Given all of the above, if you want to be part of Crankk, I'll show you my link on screen and also leave it in the description. And remember, use the code to get your $5 discount when purchasing your license. Well, with this, we've reached the end of today's video. I hope you found the provided information interesting and that you can make the most out of it. If you wish to review the information again, feel free to pause the video or take a screenshot if needed. In the description, you'll find all the links to the applications and services mentioned in the video. Additionally, I'll leave you the discount codes and links to the DePIN projects I'm currently investing in case you want to take advantage of them. Using them will not only save you a few dollars when entering them but will also serve as indirect support to the channel. Thanks in advance if you decide to take advantage of them. Without further ado, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like it and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for sticking with us until the end. See you in the next one.